What's going on, guys? Hope you're having a good morning, a good afternoon, a good evening, a good life, a good year. I wanted to talk about some things I've been noticing this year. There's a lot of coincidence and synchronicity happening to me this year, and it just keeps appearing so frequently that it's almost impossible to ignore. And I had a very interesting experience on the weekend, nothing really profound necessarily, but it was just an interesting recognition of the way that either the universe or maybe just our own lives just act in interesting ways in terms of timing. So, for example, at the start of the year, it was my birthday in February, and I was having a rough time. I went through some personal turmoils, and I spent half the week super upset, kind of in a downward spiral, unfortunately. Luckily, that passed. But during that time, I found a few interesting things that really helped me see what I'm capable of going to do in the future, and just ways of overcoming that kind of deeper, darker moment. And one thing that I found, or one person that I found, was this artist, this rapper called Doechii. You might have seen her. She won a Grammy last year for Best Rap Album. And she actually had documented her journey on YouTube, and I'll put a link to her channel below, about her being kind of a starving artist, trying to find her way, kind of going in and out of these waves of creativity. And she did the Artist Way course, which I also did because of her. It's a book that I'm aware of and I've had on the shelf for a while, but I never really wanted or was compelled to do the actual 12-week course. So seeing her on her channel be where she is now as an artist in terms of her career, and seeing the progression of her life and creativity from doing the Artist Way course on her channel, because she documented it each and every week as she was kind of moving through the motions, really inspired me. And it was just this connective kind of moment where I was like, this is something that I know I need to be doing. I'm feeling like I'm in this creative rut. I feel like I'm in this personal rut. I'm getting older. I'm getting closer to 40. I feel like I'm missing some connection with, I guess, more inner versions of myself, or childlike versions of myself. So just kind of finding her as an artist, finding her YouTube channel and finding her stories, her documentation of the Artist Way on her channel, just fell into my lap right at the exact right time. And immediately after finding that and being inspired by that, I did my own 12-week course of the Artist Way. You can check out all of those videos here on the channel. It was only just a few months ago, but it was just so interesting to me that the things that I need keep presenting themselves to me, or falling into my lap, or just appearing in front of me right at the exact time that I need them, or right at the moment, right before I need them. Even this week, I've been feeling like I'm doing well with the consistency of the videos on the channel here, but I really want to just get better at the way I'm presenting and communicating. And then I found that Talk Like TED book at the precise right moment. And then reading that has really just challenged a lot of preconceived ideas about what I thought speaking was about. It kind of reinvigorated the way I've been approaching things, because a lot of the things that are in the book are things that I've kind of innately done. I've just kind of subconsciously found myself doing things a certain way, and then finding the book has just added the extra sauce on top. It's just made things click 10% more. And it's really just this interesting thing of timing. I don't know if it's my awareness or my willingness to receive things, perhaps, or if it's the universe planting things in front of me at the right time. I don't know. I'm not a huge believer in the idea or the mantra that everything happens for a reason. I don't really believe that God is like making plans for us to follow. Perhaps he is. I'm not too sure. I don't personally resonate or feel that. But I feel like there's a sense of synchronicity, which is something that was mentioned in the Artist Way book by Julia Cameron. This idea about being aware and having your antenna up and your ears open and your eyes open, and the willingness to receive things as opposed to being closed off all the time. And it's just happened so many times since I read that book. It's every few weeks there's something interesting that's clicking at the precise right moment. And it just feels like I'm trying to walk across, I mean, this is not supposed to be like a religious pun or joke, but it feels like I'm trying to like walk across water, and something is like putting a stone out for me for each new step, and it's sort of guiding me. Obviously, I'm the one that's walking down my own path, but it feels like there's just a little bit more solid foundation placed in front of me slowly and slowly and slowly. I don't know, it's encouraging, and it's just so interesting and peculiar to me, because I've never felt this way before. I just feel like things are just like slowly working out. Things aren't necessarily easy, but I just feel like something's guiding me, and perhaps it's just my own dreams, my own aspirations, and my own willingness is driving me. But it's just so interesting. It happened again on the weekend in a very obvious way, and you could chalk this up to coincidence. I believe it's more than just coincidence. It's got to be something else. I don't know what it is. So essentially, if by the time you're watching this, the video would have come out, you can check it out. I did just a photo walk in Sydney City, like a walk and talk. Just went into Sydney City for the day, took on my cameras. The idea was just to stroll around the harbour, stroll through the city, take some photos, and just unwind, have a day off. There was no plans. It was just supposed to be a chill day, meandering around, and that's what I did for the first half of the day. It was just very kind of uneventful. I was taking things slowly. Sorry, short little coffee break here while I parked. So what was interesting to me is that throughout the day, I made over 1,000 little choices and decisions without thinking about it. I didn't really have any plan. I wasn't trying to set up some outcome or anything. It was just 1,000 little choices. So I turned left when I could have turned right. I crossed this light when I could have went through this light. I took a photo of this angle when I could have went around the corner and taken a photo of something else. Or I got coffee at this coffee store instead of this coffee store. All of these little things were either adding or subtracting time from my day, which slowly built into like the final like pinnacle coincidence moment. And you can even see it in the video that I released. There's this last kind of sequence of events that is captured on camera, and it's actually very interesting to me. So for example, I was trying to find some food in like the Haymarket sort of Sydney CBD area. I really didn't see anything that I was interested in, and just kept walking, crossed a few lights with no real goal in mind of where I was headed or what I was doing. I was just kind of just like buying time before I could find something to eat. And then I was just walking along a street, and the light just turned green to the left of me. There was no one there that had pressed the button. I just thought, oh, it went green, I may as well cross and see what happens. So I crossed the lights, walked up a little bit further, and then you kind of enter this food court area. Again, I didn't know what to eat, didn't know really what options there even were. I just wanted to just live in the moment and kind of be present. So I walked past there's a pie store, and then I walked past a sushi store. At the sushi store, there's like one tiny little table for basically one person to eat their sushi. There was someone sitting there when I walked past the first time, and I thought I could get sushi, but I'll see what's further down in the food court. And then I walked down, and it's more like burger stores and things like that. And yeah, none of them really jived with me or weren't appealing to me at that moment. So I just turned around, doubled back, and said, I'm just going to get sushi. It's on the video itself. And the idea was just to get sushi and eat it as like a takeaway thing, walk and eat. When I had come back literally 40 seconds later, the table was free. So I thought, I will sit down and eat my sushi. It'll give me a chance to capture some perhaps boring B-roll of me eating a sweet, spicy chicken sushi roll. And yeah, just filmed myself there for 5 minutes while I just kind of slowed down because I was winding down for the end of the day. I'd finished my food. I'm like, I've got enough B-roll here, that's fine. And for some reason, I broke the leg on my tripod. So my camera here was sitting on a tripod filming me. I guess abruptly crammed the legs down, and one of the plastic legs snapped, which added a bit of frustration, of course. And then I spent the next 4 to 5 minutes trying to figure out, are the plastic notches that keep the leg in actually broken, or can I put it into place? So I spent a few minutes trying to get it back into place, right? So I was at that spot way longer than I anticipated, because initially I was just going to get sushi and leave, and I would have been gone 15 minutes earlier than when I was still there trying to fix the tripod leg. And it was so interesting because right when I was about to leave, right when I had given up trying to put the leg back into place, Davey from Everything Property was literally just walking directly past me. And it was just an interesting coincidence. And to give a bit more context to why that's interesting, it's a whole different discussion. Basically, Davey runs the Everything Property podcast. I'm currently doing his investment property course, and we have a bit of chat between ourselves every now and then on Instagram. And obviously he's invested in us in terms of trying to help us grow our investment portfolio, and I like what he's doing with his podcast and everything. And I just said, hey, like, shouted out to him because he was walking past. I don't know if he would have seen me or not. And then he literally said, I was watching your video 5 minutes ago. And it was just this kind of weird moment where he was walking past, he had just seen what I was doing, or the video I had just released that morning. But if I hadn't have stopped at sushi, if I hadn't have sat there, if I hadn't have taken that green light, if the tripod leg hadn't have broken, if any of those things didn't happen, I wouldn't have been at that spot in that particular moment. I would have been gone a few minutes earlier and I wouldn't have seen him. And it was just this kind of trippy moment for me on the train home, thinking about it. Like, is that coincidence? Is that the universe trying to like connect you? Or like, I don't really know what it is. It was just so interesting because one tiny shift throughout the day, if I had have stayed longer to get coffee at one spot, like a million things, right? I can give you a million examples, not a million, but at least 1,000 examples of different things that could have changed where that interaction would never have happened. Is just fascinating to me. And I don't know what it is. I know, like, I've been reading up about synchronicity a little bit since then. And there's a book by Carl Jung that I look forward to getting and reading. And he has this quote, more or less along the lines of, a meaningful coincidence is like two or more events that sort of more than the probability of chance. So basically, like, there's more than just like chance and coincidence there. There's something else in the universe or something going on that has enabled that to happen. And it's just so interesting to me. And again, it wasn't a super profound conversation or anything. We just talked about YouTube and cameras and gear and just a bit of banter like that. But that wouldn't have happened if I didn't make 1,000 micro decisions before that. And I think about this all the time as well, especially with business and content creation. Like, everything is just a culmination of every little click that you do on your computer. Like, if you did an extra 10 clicks on a different website at a certain time in your life, then you could have like 1,000 Bitcoin, for example. It's just like every little click, every little decision is like adding up to you, who you are and your identity and your life experience and everything. And it's just so interesting to me. All these little tiny choices really do add up to our existence. And maybe that is spiritual. Maybe I'm reading into it more than is necessary. But it baffles me how many things like that happen that we don't acknowledge, and then how many missed opportunities we have as well because we didn't take the green light, or because we didn't sit down and have the sushi. It's just so crazy to me. And it was just like a kind of a gentle reminder of what I was learning in the Artist Way course about just keeping your eyes and ears open to new experiences, and just be open to being surprised and being open to the unexpected moments from occurring, because you never know when they're going to happen. Like right now, I'm sitting here, it's a super windy day. I was going to do this video on a walk and talk, and literally a tree could come crashing down and kill me right now. So maybe this decision to park here while having my coffee was not the best decision. Who knows? But I just wanted to share that because it's so interesting. And maybe it happens way more than what we realize. And I think if we can just acknowledge that these are the 100 decisions that led to this thing, then we might be just more grateful about everything that happens in our lives. So I just wanted to share that story, and it's just something that really stuck with me last week, and I've seen this happen time and time again this year. And I think it's mostly because I'm aware of the possibility now, as opposed to previous years where I never really connected the dots. So if you've had like a really significant moment like this happen in your life, I'd love to know in the comments below. Please let me know. Drop me a message there. And yeah, I find it fascinating. And yeah, that's just all I wanted to share in this video. So I hope you liked this one, like the video, and subscribe to the channel if you're new here. And I'll see you guys in the next one.